Every woman has specific levels of your crazy. I only gave him level 3 of my crazy. I didn't give him level 10. He didn't even see how crazy I can really be. I didn't really even give the full vent to my anger, right? So why is it that he's so upset? And welcome back to Siobhan Street TV, my cozy little corner of the internet where I get to discuss all things faith and fashion, Bible and beauty being snatched and saved. Yes. So if that sounds like something that's kind of up your alley, girl, subscribe. Join the CC community. I ain't gonna tell you again. Girl, we're waiting. You pressed it? Okay, now we can start. If you clicked on this video, 9 times out of 10, for whatever reason, I don't know who did it to you, girl. First of all, I want to validate your feelings right now. You mad? Come on, bring it in. You get a group hug. I don't care if you're subscribed or not. You get a group hug. Socially distancing, but we're still emotionally available. I'm so sorry that they made you mad. So now that we've kind of figured out that we're mad, let's talk about how to handle conflict in a feminine way. The first things first, if you want to be able to handle conflict, all right, in a feminine way, don't breach character. Now you may be thinking to yourself, character, what are you talking about? Character. Whether this is your relationship with your husband, or whether this is your relationship with your friends, or whether this is your relationship at your job, there's a specific type of character that you've put out there. One that you are kind, that you are sweet, that you are generous, that you are compassionate, that you are caring. And then all of a sudden, when you get mad, now you're sour, you're a Sour Patch now? First you're sour, then you're sweet. Make it make sense. You are Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You go from 0 to 100 real quick, and you don't understand why people think that you're just so crazy. You're not crazy. You breached character. They had a character in their mind of who you are. And then whenever you break that character by acting ratchet, hiding behind bushes, by taking out baseball bats, checking somebody's phone, come on, every woman has specific levels of your crazy. And you may be thinking to yourself, well, I only gave him level 3 of my crazy. I didn't give him level 10, okay? He didn't even see how crazy I can really be. I didn't really even give the full vent to my anger, right? So why is it that he's so upset? All I did was roll my eyes. All I did was smack my lip. I'm trying to understand why is he so upset, because I didn't even tell him half the things that I wanted to tell him. And why does he think that I'm crazy? Why does he think that I'm mean? Why does he think that I am the most disrespectful girlfriend ever? Why? Because you breached character, girl. You may see some of these girls who are a little bit more expressive with their anger, okay? They are a little bit, what's a word? I can't think of any other word but ratchet, okay? They don't have very much tact. They're not very graceful, not very poised. They are the type of women that curse out their man on a regular basis, whether they're happy or not, they're cursing at their man. This is the kind of woman that twerks out in the middle of the street somewhere, okay? This is the kind of woman that is always crazy. Right? So when she is slashing tires, when she is busting windows, when she is cursing her man out, when she is embarrassing her man in front of everyone else, that man, he probably isn't too much fazed by it. Why? Because she has been consistently crazy this entire time. Whereas you, this poised, graceful, elegant, classy, refined, feminine, sensitive woman, so soft, so pure, so beautiful, right? When you start slashing tires, when you start busting windows, when you are calling him everything but a child of God, when you are embarrassing him in front of his business partners, his colleagues, his family, his friends, when you're doing that, then he says, oh, you're crazy. Don't breach character. If I'm getting mad, and I'm getting to that level where I want to express my craziness, what do? Well, you need to think introspectively. Start thinking to yourself, is it a valid reason as to why I'm mad? How should I respond? Many of us, we act before we think. We don't even care about how it's going to play out in the end. We don't care if we lose the job. Come on, we don't care if we lose our status. We don't care if we lose our position. We don't care if we lose the way that people view us. You are a representative. When you walk outside of your four walls, you are no longer representing just you. You represent your husband, Come on, you represent your children. You represent your community. Wherever you are, whatever age and stage you are, you represent. So I'm gonna need you to represent yourself well, okay? And that means that you actually care how you are viewed. You actually care how this is going to reflect on your husband. You actually care how this is going to reflect on your career. You care, okay? I'm gonna need you to start caring. Oh, I did not come to preach. Think introspectively. Think to yourself why you're mad. Think to yourself, how can I manage this situation to the best of my abilities? Let's say you've thought introspectively, you kind of got it in your mind, in your heart, in your soul, in your spirit of how you are going to approach this argument, right? Okay, here are some tips. First, don't be over here, we need to talk, and having it in a rude kind of voice. You need to sweeten that tone, sweeten it up. Why? Because you can win more flies with honey than with vinegar, okay? So sweeten that tone, okay? Don't be trying to talk to him while he got an empty stomach. And then also don't try to talk to him in the middle of while he's over here on his laptop and he's working. You need to be sensitive to know the timings to talk. Come on. You need to be understanding and have the discernment to know when and where and how I should bring up this situation. Baby, can you help me with something? How does this help you out? And how does this work in your advantage? Is that the moment that you say, baby, I need help, is the moment that man psychologically begins to go into fix-it mode. He wants to fix whatever is wrong. In his mind, he's thinking, what does she need? She needs a listening ear. She needs a shoulder to cry on. What can I do to be the strong, masculine man that you need me to be? And bring it up casually. Don't make it a big deal. Don't make it into this big old thing where you need to sit down. No. He doesn't have to do any of that. You rub him on the back of his neck. Come on, I'm trying to give you some practical tips here, okay? You whisper in his ear or something. Do something sexy, okay? Make it sexy. But this isn't the time that you need to be in your feeling. This is the moment when you need to manage your emotions. And you need to approach this calmly and have a level of tact and poise. And you approach this situation thinking to yourself of an end goal. What do I want to accomplish in the end? Ask for clarity. Most masculine men, if we're honest, most of them don't really know how to express what they're feeling all the time. Whenever they leave their four walls of their home, they have a whole world that they're fighting, okay? The last place that they want to fight is at their home. So you need to figure out a way that you can ask for clarity without being confrontational. Okay, so ask for clarity. Be like, baby, can you help me with something? What exactly did you mean when you said this? In my mind, I translate it like, you said this. And then you'd be like, oh no, honey, I didn't mean it like that. Just be a little bit more tender and understanding with these men because a lot of them don't know how to express themselves. You need to plan out your conflict. Let's say you bring it to him. You say it very sweetly. You say it without an attitude. You do not roll your eyes. You do not smack your lip, but you come to him humbly, kind, sweet, which is a difficult feat to do. But let's say you do it. And for whatever reason, he doesn't say the right thing. For whatever reason, this argument is going south. Most of the time, whenever we are in that headspace of being upset, right? We start planning negatively of what we're gonna do. Let him say another thing to me and I will smack him. Let him say another thing to me and I'm gonna tell him that his private parts are small. I'm just trying to make it plain, okay? I'm literally going to embarrass you in front of all of these people. I don't care that we're at your work event. I don't care that we're at church. I don't care that we're at the family reunion. I'm gonna embarrass you in front of all these people. How many of us in our mind, whenever we get mad, we start to plan out negatively how we are going to deal with this conflict? No. Take a moment, pause, and plan out your conflict positively. And say, you know what? I feel like this conversation is going south. Don't bash out the car because you want to drive in it later. Don't be over here making a mess in your kitchen, throwing your dishes and all that stuff. You spend good money on that china. Why would you break something that benefits you? Don't break your china, honey. Who gonna clean it up? Who gonna clean it up? It ain't gonna be me. So listen to me. Don't trash your environment. Don't just go into this fit of rage. Plan out your argument. I'm gonna look at those pillows over there. I'm gonna throw those pillows. Take a few moments. Meditate if you need to. Or if you're a Christian like me, Spend some time with the Lord and say, Lord, this is what's going on in my relationship. Lord, this is what's happening in my marriage. God, I really need you to fix my heart. If it's me, God, show me where I'm wrong, God. God, show them where they're wrong. Because let me tell you something right now. The Holy Spirit can change that man faster than you can. Be discreet. You need to be able to understand where you can be vulnerable. All right? You can't be vulnerable around everybody. You can't tell everybody all of your business. Guess what? Every time you tell that story of how he forgot to take out the trash, every time you tell the story about how he was late to dinner, every time you tell that story, guess what? You get increasingly upset and you get new levels of advice. And you don't know what state that person is in when they're giving you advice. And then they say, oh, girl, it couldn't be me. Oh, child, I know you aren't putting up with that. Girl, if that was me, I would have done this. The situation has now heightened because you chose to tell everybody in your circle. Don't be afraid to express your emotion. Don't be afraid to be weak in front of this man. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable in front of this man. This is not the place where you gotta be hard and rough around the edges. No, this is the place where you can soften. This is the place where you can embrace and express your emotion and just say, when you act like this, it really hurts me. Don't be afraid to cry in front of your man. Don't be afraid to just melt in his arms. Tell the truth. Baby, I feel alone. I feel afraid. I don't feel safe. And when you're around, you make my world better. But in these past few weeks, when I notice you're doing this, I find that I feel like that. Don't be afraid to just tell him how you feel, because men will respond better whenever you're not trying to just be over here logically trying to argue him down. Either this man is going to fight, flight, or freeze. Either he is going to fight you back because you're over here coming to him with logic. You're coming with him with numbers. You're coming to him with receipts. You're coming to him with all these facts and figures. He ain't trying to hear that, because let me tell you something. He's going to shut down. Why? Because he's going to fight you back and just be like, well, you do this, well, you do that, and let's look at your numbers and let's look at your receipts. He's going to do that. And next thing you know, now you're a full-on lawyer and you're talking about point 1, point 2, you're pulling out PowerPoints, okay? No. Or he's going to flight and you try to bring up this stuff and you're trying to come logically and say all this stuff, and guess what? Then he's going to run off. Then he'll be gone. Then he'll get in his car, he'll drive away, and he won't come back. Tone it down. Then, let's say he may freeze. And so you're talking to him and it feels like he's not listening to you. You're talking to him and it feels like you're hitting a brick wall. Why? Because it was fight, flight, or freeze, and he chose to freeze. Don't come to him with logic. Don't come to him with numbers. Don't come to him with statistics. Don't come to him with receipts. Allow yourself to be vulnerable and just say, baby, this is how I'm feeling. And I bet you he's gonna respond better. Watch your body language. I'm gonna do a whole other video on feminine body language. But in the meantime, between time, I don't care if you've seen 1,000 romantic comedies where the woman slapped the man upside the head and he still kissed her. That doesn't mean anything, okay? Because life is not like the movies. You don't want it done to you, don't do it to him. This is my last and final point. Evaluate if the issue is bigger than the argument. Evaluate if the issue, the problem, the concern is bigger than the argument itself. Because you may be having a disagreement about something that is seemingly small, but what is underneath that issue is a greater issue that is at hand. Are you mad that he's late to your dinner date? Or are you mad because you feel like he's not dependable? Are you mad that he didn't take out the trash? Or are you mad that he doesn't handle responsibility well? I just got questions. Why are you mad? Is there a bigger issue that is at hand? I just don't like the way he touches me. Are you mad about the way that he touches you? Or are you really dealing with the fact that you were molested at a young age and you still haven't told him about it? What are you really mad at? Are you mad about this man? Are you mad about some things that are going on the inside of you? Are you mad at the disagreement itself? Or are you mad at the internal conflict that is going on underneath the surface? These are questions you need to answer for yourself. So, I'm all out of time. And I just want to thank all of you guys for watching, for liking, for commenting, for subscribing, for all that good stuff. And Make sure you like this video so I know that you want to see more things like this on my channel. So remember, you guys, that we do all things to glorify God. So I don't care if you're slaying this hair or if you're in the place of prayer. I don't care if you are diving into the Bible or you're over here diving to do some burpees for the body. I don't care if you have a conflict that you're going to address tonight. I don't care if you got a disagreement you got going on today, okay? Wherever you are, remember, we do all things to glorify God. So remember to stay snatched and saved. Bye.